I do not like thee, Dr. Fell. The reason why I cannot tell, but this I know, and know full well. I do not like thee, Dr. Fell. Welcome to Noonday Nonsense. This, by the way, is my assistant, the minor poet T.S. Elephant, who helps me out occasionally. There you go. So, good to see you again. Now, yesterday, I set some homework. I set some interesting homework to draw a jumbly, to draw one of the characters from Edward Lear's great poem that I read. So hands up if you did your homework. Yeah? Yeah. Well, 2 hands went up, but luckily they were 2 very talented hands, and they were the hands of David and Sian from Pitstone in Buckinghamshire, who sent in their homework. David did this picture of the Jumblies. You can see there they are in their sieve. Their heads are green, their hands are blue. They're in a rough sea. David, age 9. And Sian sent in this. Whoops, there we are. An even more detailed picture. The Jumblies, they look a bit like Baby Yoda in this picture here. And that's from Sian, aged 38. So it just shows that anyone can take up these homework assignments. I'm going to put those up on the website, on the Facebook page later, so you can see them. But now I'm going to set some more homework later on, and I expect you to do it this time. But for now, here's another classic poem by Edward Lear. On the coast of Coromandel, where the early pumpkins blow, in the middle of the woods lived the Yonghy Bonghy Bò. 2 old chairs and half a candle, 1 old jug without a handle, these are all his worldly goods. In the middle of the woods, these were all the worldly goods of the Yonghy Bonghy Bò, of the Yonghy Bonghy Bò. Once, among the bong trees walking, where the early pumpkins blow, to a little heap of stones came the Yonghy Bonghy Bò, and there he heard a lady talking to some milk-white hens of Dorking. "'Tis the Lady Jingly Jones! On that little heap of stones sits the Lady Jingly Jones," said the Yonghy Bonghy Bò, said the Yonghy Bonghy Bò. Lady Jingly, sitting where the pumpkins blow, will you come and be my wife?" said the Yonghy Bonghy Bò. "I'm tired of living singly on this coast so wild and shingly. I'm a-weary of my life. If you'll come and be my wife, quite serene would be my life," said the Yonghy Bonghy Bò, said the Yonghy Bonghy Bò. "On this coast of Coromandel, shrimps and watercresses grow. Prawns are plentiful and cheap," said the Yonghy Bonghy Bò. "You may have my chairs and candle, and my jug without a handle. Gaze upon the rolling deep. Fish is plentiful and cheap. As the sea, my love is deep," said the Yonghy Bonghy Bò, said the Yonghy Bonghy Bò. Lady Jingly answered sadly, and her tears began to flow. "Your proposal comes too late, Mr. Yonghy Bonghy Bò. I would be your wife most gladly," and here she twirled her fingers madly, "but in England I've a mate. Yes, you've asked me far too late, for in England I've a mate, Mr. Yonghy Bonghy Bò, Mr. Yonghy Bonghy Bò." Mr. Jones, his name is Handel Jones, Esquire and Co. Dorking fowls delights to send, Mr. Yonghy Bonghy Bò. Keep, oh keep your chairs and candle, and your jug without a handle. I can merely be your friend. Should my Jones more Dorking send, I will give you 3, my friend. Mr. Yonghy Bonghy Bò, Mr. Yonghy Bonghy Bò. Though you've such a tiny body, and your head so large doth grow, though your hat may blow away, Mr. Yonghy Bonghy Bò, though you're such a hoddy-doddy, yet I wish I could modify the words I needs must say. Will you please to go away? That is all I have to say, Mr. Yonghy Bonghy Bò, Mr. Yonghy Bonghy Bò. Down the slippery slopes of where they blow, to the calm and silent sea fled the Yonghy Bonghy Bò. There, beyond the Bay of Gurtle, lay a large and lively turtle. You're the cove, he said for me. On your back beyond the sea, turtle, you shall carry me, said the Yonghy Bonghy Bò, said the Yonghy Bonghy Bò. Through the silent roaring ocean did the turtle swiftly go. Holding fast upon his shell rode the Yonghy Bonghy Bò. With a sad primeval motion towards the sunset isles of Boshen, still the turtle bore him well, holding fast upon his shell. Lady Jingly Jones, farewell, sang the Yonghy Bonghy Bò, sang the Yonghy Bonghy Bò. From the coast of Coromandel did that lady never go? On that heap of stones she mourns for the Yonghy Bonghy Bò. On that coast of Coromandel, in his jug without a handle, still she weeps and daily moans. On that little heap of stones, to her Dorking hens she moans for the Yonghy Bonghy Bò, for the Yonghy Bonghy Bò. It's very sad. Well, you've guessed it. Your homework, which you will do today, and you will email me in the you can find the contact details in the message at the top. You will email me drawings that you do, I don't care what age you are, drawings of the Lady Jingly Jones seated on a heap of stones. It's up to you how much detail you put in, but I want Lady Jingly and I want the heap of stones. Now, this next one is quite interesting. It's perhaps not strictly a nonsense poem at all, but it has the same sense of strangeness and fun about it, I think. It's actually a translation of a poem that was originally written in Middle English. That's the English that was spoken in the Middle Ages, and it was translated by the poet Seamus Heaney, and it's called The Names of the Hare. The man the hare has met will never be the better of it, except he lay down on the land what he carries in his hand, be it staff or be it bow, and bless him with his elbow, and come out with this litany with devotion and sincerity to speak the praises of the hare. Then the man will better fare. The hare, call him Scottart, big fellow, Butchart, the O'Hare, the jumper, the rascal, the racer, beat the pad, Whiteface, funk the ditch, the Wymount, the messer, the skedaddler, the nibbler, the ill-met, the slabber, the quick-scut, the Jew-flirt, the grass-biter, the goybert, the home-late, the do-the-dirt, the starer, the woodcat, the purblind, the furze cat, the skulker, the bleary-eyed, the wall-eyed, the glance aside, and also the hedge-springer, the stubble stag, the long lugs, the stook deer, the frisky legs, the wild one, the skipper, the hug the ground, the lurker, the race the wind, the skiver, the head squatter, the Jew hammer, the Jew hopper, the sit tight, the grass bounder, the jigfoot, the earth sitter, the lightfoot, the fern sitter, the kale stag, the herb cropper, the creep along, the sitter still, the pintail, the ring the hill, the sudden start, shake the heart, the belly white, the lambs in flight, the gum sucker, the scare the man, the faith breaker, the snuff the ground, the baldy skull. His chief name is Scoundrel. The stag, sprouting a swayed horn. The creature living in the corn. The creature bearing all men's scorn. The creature no one dares to name. When you have got all this said, then the hare's strength has been laid. Then you might go faring forth, east and west and south and north, wherever you incline to go, but only if you're skilful too. And now, Sir Hare, good day to you. God guide you to a how do you do with me. Come to me dead, in either onion broth or bread. What do you think? You can tell me what you think in the comments. Now, it's time, well, it's the end of the session, and that means it's time for the randomly chosen Edward Lear limerick of the day. As I say, Edward Lear wrote lots of these little short poems called limericks. He wrote over 200 of them. They're of varying quality, but let's see what we come up with today. And a special guest is going to pick the lyric today. It's the minor poet, T.S. Eliphant. Are you ready, T.S.? Yes, good. Okay, so you tell him when to stop. Stop, okay. There was an old person of Grange whose manners were scroobious and strange. He sailed to St. Blub in a waterproof tub. That aquatic old person of Grange. And there's a splendid picture of him, which I will put up. There he is, the aquatic old person of Grange. Well, thank you for listening, everybody. Cheerio. Remember, stay indoors, keep your distance, and do your homework.